Have you ever looked at the clock and wondered, where did today go? Or found yourself busy the entire day, and yet felt strangely unfulfilled? We all live with a silent illusion that we have time. Lots of time. Endless time. But time is not a river that waits for us. It flows, quietly, continuously, whether we notice it or not. Today's story is about a woman named Elara. Someone just like you and me. Always running, always rushing, always postponing her dreams for later. But one day, a chance encounter changed everything, and showed her the true, profound value of time. This is her story. And perhaps, in her reflection, you will see a part of your own life. Elara lived in a bustling, modern city. A place of glowing billboards, endless traffic, and people who always seemed to be chasing something. On the outside, she had everything. A good job, a comfortable home, and a future others would envy. But inside, she felt a quiet emptiness. Every day looked the same. Every week blurred into the next. She would wake up, rush through her morning, run between deadlines, messages, noise, and notifications, and collapse into bed, exhausted but never satisfied. Time, for her, was a taskmaster. A ticking clock she was always fighting against. And the strange thing? Even though her days were full, her heart felt empty. She was busy, but unfulfilled. Moving, but going nowhere. She kept telling herself, I'll rest later. I'll pursue my passion later. I'll spend time with family later. I'll live my life later. But later never comes on its own. It has to be created. Elara didn't know this yet. One particularly exhausting evening, Elara left her office later than usual. Her head was heavy, her thoughts scattered. Instead of taking her usual route home, she wandered through an old, forgotten part of the city. A place she had never noticed before. There, between two tall buildings, was a small garden. Quiet, peaceful, untouched by the rush outside. In the middle of that garden sat an elderly man, with silver hair and gentle eyes. Before him lay an old wooden table, with a single object on it. A beautifully crafted hourglass. Elara slowed down, drawn to the subtle glow of the sand inside the hourglass. The old man looked up and smiled. Long day? He asked softly. Elara nodded, surprised by her own honesty. You could say that. He tapped the hourglass lightly. Most people see time as something endless, he said, until they feel it slipping through their fingers. Elara frowned. What do you mean? The old man motioned toward the bench beside him. Sit, he said. My name is Silas. And I would like to tell you a story. If you have a moment. Elara hesitated. She never had a moment. But today, something inside her whispered. Listen. So she sat. And Silas began. Silas lifted the hourglass, letting the soft golden sand drift through the narrow neck. Most people, Silas said, believe their hourglass looks like this, full and generous. But then he turned the hourglass upside down, and tapped the glass gently. A thin stream of sand flowed. Quiet, steady, unstoppable. Every grain, he said, is a moment of your life. Elara watched it carefully. The flow seemed almost hypnotic. Let me tell you something, Silas continued. When I was young, I believed the same thing you do. That time was endless. That I had plenty of it. That each day was just another day. Elara leaned in, intrigued. One summer, Silas said, I visited my grandfather's home in the countryside. He was a carpenter, patient, wise, calm. He always carried an hourglass like this. One afternoon, I asked him, "Why do you keep this old thing? You have clocks everywhere." He smiled and told me, "Clocks measure time. But this hourglass shows how time disappears." Silas paused, letting the words sink in. "My grandfather gave me a task," he said. "He told me to turn the hourglass over and list everything I wanted to do in life before the sand ran out." I laughed at him. There was so much sand. Plenty of time, right? Elara nodded. She would have thought the same. "So I began writing," Silas said. But every time I looked up, more sand had fallen. Moments gone. And suddenly, I felt a strange panic. Because for the first time, I realized that time doesn't wait. It doesn't pause. It doesn't rewind. It simply moves. Silas looked at Elara deeply. "Most of us," he said, "lose time not because we don't have enough of it, but because we believe we always will." He lifted the hourglass again. "Elara, these sands are always falling. We just don't see them. We think we're standing still. But the hourglass is always flowing." He placed the hourglass in her hands. "Tell me," he said, "how many of your moments have fallen without you even noticing?" The sand continued to fall. As Elara stared at it, feelings rising in her chest. Regret, sorrow, realization. "The value of time," Silas whispered, "is not in how much we have, but in how much we use wisely." That night, Elara couldn't sleep. She kept hearing Silas's voice. She kept seeing the sand falling. At work the next day, she noticed things she had never seen before. How often she wasted minutes scrolling mindlessly. How many dreams she postponed. How many conversations she rushed through. How many sunrises she ignored. Because she was too busy. For the first time, she saw the unseen sands. And slowly, Elara began to change. She woke up early to watch the sky bloom with morning colors. She put away her phone during conversations and truly listened. She revisited passions she had buried under excuses. Painting, cooking, walking in nature. She said no to unnecessary commitments that drained her energy and stole her time. Most importantly, she started giving time to people she loved before time took them away. She wasn't living slower. She was living deeper. And every evening, she would sit in the small garden, watching the light shift between leaves, and softly whisper, "Thank you, Silas, for showing me the sands." Weeks passed. One afternoon, Elara returned to the garden, hoping to speak with Silas again. But he wasn't there. Only the wooden table remained. And on it, the hourglass. Attached to it was a small note in Silas's handwriting. "Time is not meant to be saved. It is meant to be spent meaningfully. Live well, Elara." Elara smiled. A genuine, peaceful smile. She picked up the hourglass, held it to her heart, and whispered, "I will."